Thank you for listening to this Podcast One Sportsnet production, available on Apple Podcasts and Podcast One.
For businesses around the world, today isn't a restart, it's a rethink. That's why they're partnering with IBM to change how they work. From supply chains to customer service, let's put smart to work. Visit IBM.com/smart to learn more.
It's time to go back to work. There's a lot to do. We have things to make, stuff to build, cargo to ship, customers to serve. So grab a 5-hour energy and get ready. For 16 years, through good times and bad, 5-hour energy has been there helping hard-working people get stuff done. It's time to go back to work. Let's roll up our sleeves and get going. For more information and to order online, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Dr. Hockey.
Welcome to the Dr. Hockey Podcast. I'm Dr. Jay Calvert. I'm on today. My door is open, actually. You can hear the birds outside, so I'm sort of doing a semi-outdoor podcast with Dr. Jason Berkeley. Jason, what is happening in your world of the Los Angeles protest, COVID-19, starting back up, opening world? It is a very crazy week, is it not?
Well, it's been a tumultuous week, to say the least, and a tumultuous history in this country, to say the most. It's just unfortunate that it's taken this to get to this point where people start to open their eyes, when a lot of us good people have had our eyes open for a long time, just not really in a position to do as much. But I think it's necessary, and I think it's about time. And frankly, I look forward to seeing what happens when the dust settles and people can actually not just say thoughts and prayers and blah, 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 but actually start doing something. So,
well, absolutely. I mean, the conscious person who's awake and eyes open understands that racism is wrong on every level. It's
right.
Awful. It has no place in a society, it has no place in relationships with human beings. Racism is a total failure of teaching, understanding. It's a level of ignorance that's hard to ignore. That's the word it is. It's ignorance.
And it's something that, by and large, I mean, you go around asking people if they have friends that are this or that or whatever. And the people that are usually the most ignorant are the ones that are the most bigoted, are the ones that just don't have any friends other than people that are just like them from whatever group. I mean, that's just the truth. And so, I remember back in college, there was a guy in my dorm. This is freshman year. And bear in mind, I went to Michigan State. We're talking about a Big Ten university. Okay. We're not talking about some, small school out in the middle of nowhere or whatever, but a Big Ten university. The first week of school, there was a guy in my dorm who came up to me just out of nowhere. I think I met him once just in the passing when we were all getting orientation. And he said, "Oh, I heard you're Jewish." And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, I don't see your horns." And I thought he was kind of messing around, so I kind of messed around back and said, "Oh, I filed them down. I don't, they'll grow out. Don't worry about it." Literally like 2 weeks later, he said, "Hey, I still don't see your horns." And I had to tell him basically in so many words, you're an idiot.
Absolutely.
And so it's that level of ignorance that goes on. And we've seen it, and, people feel sometimes that they're, quote, comfortable. And so they'll make a comment. One of my patients years ago made a comment about one of my colleagues I referred him to, who was a black gentleman, and made a derogatory comment. And I basically said to the patient, in so many words, again, "You're out. I'm not going to treat you." And I discharged him, and that was it. And so it all starts with basically not being intolerant to intolerance, I guess is the best way of putting it.
This is a topic for me that is, I'm very comfortable when people become uncomfortable, because they ought to be. And it's like what I saw on that videotape with George Floyd. My God, being murdered on video.
I told you it was a snuff film. That's a term from the 60s, whatever, where it was always kind of one of those urban legends about an actual film of somebody being killed. We saw an actual snuff film.
Yeah, no, it was,
and it just was so disturbing. And the reality is, you don't even have to see the actual entire clip.